good to be with you again today. Obviously, it was a much more pleasant Sunday here with our kids. A lot of energy in the room last night compared to a lot of sad faces and disappointment here in the last couple of weeks that we faced. So, again, I couldn't be happier for our kids. I mean, that's kind of why you coach this game, is to be around our guys and enjoy wins together. So. There was a lot of good things on tape that you watched. There's a lot of little things you got to fix. Fumbled on the 1 yard line with some communication errors on offense, just blocking wise, a 4th and 1. Same thing, just really communication more than, we couldn't block them up front. Little errors like that, you'll see a guy run through with a front call, whatever may have been done there. And defensively, pretty solid performance overall, except we give up a 70-yard pass on a coverage where, safety's got his eyes in the backfield trying to look and say, I wonder if he's going to throw it there. And then by the time you get your eyes back around, he's got too much time. You didn't get there fast enough. So, but the next challenge is Syracuse, obviously a good football team that came in here a year ago and put some points up on us, and we put some points up on them. Defensively, I think they're a lot better football team than they were a year ago. I think they're somewhere 49th or 50th in the country total defense. They're playing well. They played some, Coach Ward's got them going on defense. They've got some junior college guys in. They are playing faster. They're playing a lot of man coverage, packing the box. So they're going to force us to, try to throw it over their heads or loosen up one or the other. And if Jester and Max play like they did last weekend, that could be fun to watch. And then offensively, again, they spread it out. Coach Babers is a very creative guy, the old Baylor coach, and you see all those things. They did some stuff that we had never seen before a year ago with pulling a tackle out. I mean, we've never seen it before. Now they're doing it all the time. They must like it. So, we'll be obviously better prepared for some of those, just quick now routes where they're getting a blocker on your, they're taking a tackle and putting them on the corner. Some interesting stuff. But I'm sure they'll have some new creative stuff for us. Tempo will be an issue that our defense has got to cope with. And I think with our depth on defense right now, and we've been, pretty darn healthy, and Felipe Motley's probable for this weekend, so we're going to find out how he looks this week. He did a lot of things last week, so you add another corner into the mix, just gives you some guys that you can rotate. We were a little short last year, which was part of the problem, and then plays on the field was another part of the problem. So look forward to that challenge again, going up there and playing in the Dome. Questions?
You had mentioned last year's game had given up 61 points. But at the end of the year, how much did it, and also you look back at that tape last year and try to get that similar?
You look at it a lot. We've looked at that thing probably 15 times in the last year. I mean, you look at it a lot. I mean, you look at, they're going to come out and do some of the same things. They're going to do a lot of things different, and you try to prepare for what, they possibly could do. You're looking at all the games they played this year. You got 5-game breakdown plus that, so it's like a 6-game breakdown that you're looking to say, hey, who are they this year? Because everybody's a little different, 2016, 2017, and then find out what kind of new wrinkles they'd want to do based on what they've seen us also have problems with. So, not only are you looking at what Syracuse is doing, you're looking at, hey, where are your weaknesses? What are they seeing? They want to get matchups. I'm sure they're going to try to go after our safeties, and I would too. So we got to shore up what we're doing with those guys, how we're doing it, and they can go after the corners. I hope they go after the corners because I feel good about who those guys are out there right now. I mean, I feel a lot better than we did last year at this game. And then we got to stop the run up front. So, I mean, they're 34th in the country, I think, total offense right now. So they're very balanced in running it and throwing it. So it's not just throwing it around the park. And, they got a lot of, short stuff they'll throw out there, and they're talented. They got some players out there.
They'll probably try to attack the safeties. They got this kid Phillips, number 3, just had 17 catches Saturday. Is that sort of what they try to do with him, get matchups?
They get matchups or put their smaller guys inside and try to work your safeties, put their bigger guys on your corners. So some of their bigger receivers are out there. Ishmael's out there. So they'll put their bigger guys outside and throw some jump balls, and then they'll put their smaller guys in and try to, it's something to deal with, that's for sure. It's interesting stuff, and they spread you out.
How ready do you think you guys are, I guess, from what you've seen, what they do on tape?
We're not ready at all right now, but give us a couple days, and hopefully we will be.
When you guys played Oklahoma State, there was a lot of trying to get guys on the field, get the right packages between snaps. Obviously, they go with tempo. I mean, at what point does it become I mean, you have to be wary as a coach. Are we trying to do too much too quickly? Can we keep the 11 we got on from snap to snap and hope they don't screw it up in that spot?
Yeah. Well, if they sub, we'd like to sub. Okay, so that's the first thing is, the referee will give you one of these. You'll see this umpire. There's been times I've watched tape and they're subbing, and you can see the personnel changing. And and again, coaches coach, players play, and officials got to officiate. But if they sub and Jerry comes in the game, we're supposed to have time to say, okay, Jerry's in. He's a bigger tight end. Okay, he doesn't run so well. Okay, we can get someone else that doesn't run so well in the game. He's got games a gamer. So we should be able to sub. But there's times you watch on tape where, they're not standing over the ball. That center judge should be standing over the ball, holding that until, we get someone in to cover Jerry. So, but you have to be able to sub. If you want to hang out there for 15-play drive and not sub, you're just going to get gassed, and and then scheme doesn't matter. It's so there's a fine line. I'd like to keep my 11 best out there. If it's 3 and out, that's great. But if it gets in a longer drive, and that's what they want to do, they want to get a big play on you, and you're going, oh gosh, let's get the sub out, and then they're going to go even faster at that point. So
schematically, how similar are they to Oklahoma State?
They're very similar because they're going to, I think to attack us, they're going to play 3 and 4 wideouts. A year ago, empty was their favorite formation, so they're going to line up an empty and ding, 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 and just throw it around. And they did that. Just remember, they did that all last year with their backup quarterback. Dungy was out, and Dungy's back now.
They ran the ball pretty well against you guys last year.
They started off throwing it, and got us thinking all the stuff out there, and then then our linebackers started looking. So our guys got to trust what they're doing and trust it. But you see linebackers running in the box and then thinking, okay, it's not a run again because they're just going to throw it over my head. So then they start to run out towards the pass, and then it is a run. I mean, you'll see Sean Ado, who doesn't normally do that several times. It's like, so they play that cat and mouse with you, throw it out there, and then run it inside. So no, we didn't. That's why I said it's a challenge, and that's why they've successfully, 34th best offense in the country right now, based on the numbers. They've successfully ran it and thrown it on everybody they played. So they went down to Baton Rouge and gave LSU all they wanted.
Speaking of the run game, you like the combination of both sort of tackle. He gives you the best chance to run the ball.
Right now he does. I mean, based on not only run the ball but protect the quarterback too. He did a good job of protecting Max last week, and that's critical.
When it comes to the issues running the ball, I mean, was it the same things that you saw from the previous week? Just running backs, all 11 guys pretty much at fault. So just it's one.
It's a little bit of it's a little bit of just not running the ball like we need to and not blocking them as good as we need to. And again, they're packing the box up in there. So again, whether you want to throw it or run it, I mean, I think they assumed let's pack the box and make this quarterback throw the ball. Well, guess what? He did. Now we hadn't seen it thrown like that before. So Max is back, and we just got to keep him that way, and we've got to be able to throw the ball this weekend for sure.
How much can a game like that help you in the future, Pat? Because teams know now that they have to be honest with the passing game.
I mean, Jester, got his touches and threw the ball up there, and Max has got confidence that he's going to do it in the game, and I think Coach Watson and the staff's got confidence that, hey, we can throw it up there, and we got a chance, and whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of guys that made plays out there, from Aaron Matthews to Lopes. I mean, there was a lot of playmakers out there. It wasn't like we were just throwing it just to him. So I think there was a lot of good things that at least loosens it up. I mean, you can die by one player, or you can loosen up a little bit and let us run it a little bit, I guess.
I think this is how much of this was it what you guys were doing versus who you were playing against. The level of competition will be a little bit higher this weekend. So when you're evaluating tape off a game like that, how do you sort of weigh that?
Well, again, there's so much parity in college football now. I mean, you look at some people that are winning football games out there nowadays. It's not like it used to be. I mean, there's parity. There's a lot of good football teams out there. Rice is a good football team. They got guys that are good football players. I mean, there'll be a couple of guys on that football team playing in the NFL. Was the competition what it was a year ago when we played Clemson or Oklahoma State? No, but doesn't mean they can't make plays. And you talk about this. So and again, it wasn't like we won by 7 either. That was the other thing you look at. It was a convincing win. It wasn't a 28-0 at halftime, and then we stopped playing in the second half. So we learned our lesson there, and it was a convincing win. I mean, I think we scored on every drive in the first half offensively, except for the one we fumbled on the one.
I guess what I was trying to get at was more like, what did you see on film from an execution standpoint that you think is going to hold up over one week from the next, as opposed to just having Jester a better athlete than the guy that he's facing?
We'll find out. We'll find out this week. But there was better execution. I think our kids stuck with the plan. I think, overall, even in the run game when it didn't go, the guys are hitting the right holes. And again, there was more execution in the passing game as far as doing the right thing. I mean, the week before we could still be better, blocking downfield with our wideouts for sure. But our receivers, their releases were better. There was just more, sometimes receivers get into that tendency of just, I'm going to run a route and not run at the right depth. There was still a little bit of that going on, of either the wrong landmark for a tight end, or a bad release by a receiver, releasing inside, okay, which brings the corner's eyes inside, which is not good. So all those details, which I saw get cleaned up a lot. Now we got to have consistency too. So 1 week doesn't define you as a football team or an offense.
Max is back. Do you think a coach sort of going back to him instead of turning away from him, and he does that to sort of help his confidence?
I think so. And again, I don't think he lacked any confidence, at all anyway. I mean, I think he's a very confident kid. I think most quarterbacks are confident, and so is Ben. Ben's ready to go too now. So, you guys asked me, I think Jerry asked a crazy question. Do you think you found your quarterback? For a week we did. Max got to continue to play well, or Ben will jump back in there. And I trust, Max will do that. I love what I saw. To me, I saw a different, more calm, composed guy that made quicker decisions, and that's what we got to keep him. He's got to know how he got where he is, what he did to get there, and do it again. Again, versus a good pass rush too. I mean, those guys, our offense did a great job. Really, we gave up 3 sacks, and one was a tight end, and one was a back, and one was a lineman. But overall, I mean, we protected the quarterback for as much twists and movement that they were giving us inside.
You don't think you lost the confidence, but doesn't that have to take it to another level when you actually see those balls get caught, you see those points going up on the board?
We'll find out this week, right? I mean, confidence is a good thing for sure.
With Max now back to being the starter, how much of the leash is there going to be on him in the Syracuse?
How much what?
How much of the leash is there going to be on him? How much, I guess, benefit of the doubt or leeway will you get before you're maybe out to make any kind of a change? I guess, what does he need to do to sort of retain that spot?
He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. There's no leash. Put you on a leash. But there's no leash. We'll drag you around game time. But there's no leash. I mean, we don't put leashes on any of our guys, and we want him to go out and play football the way it's supposed to be played, and we got a lot of faith and trust in him that he can do that.
Coach, you expecting your offense to have their best game of the season going up against this Syracuse offense?
I'd never say, I think our defense got to play the best game of the season, too. I think we got to play great as a unit. I think offensively, defensively, and special teams, you can't go in there and say, hey, offensively, you better score a lot of points because they're going to score a lot of points. Well, that's a poor attitude to go into a game with. We got to play better, in all 3 phases to win a football game. And it's a good team, and we're still a young team. But there's plays to be made out there for everybody.
How would you evaluate your defensive line, how they've played so far?
There's a lot of good things they're doing, and there's a lot of things that you want to see better, But again, we got a total different defensive line than we had a year ago, so there's a bunch of young guys that are, are work in progress right now. But I like what Coach Partridge is doing with them, and it takes time.
Any of those guys really stood out the most? I mean, it seems like Weaver is the one who's kind of made the biggest jump.
Weaver's done some good things. Dwayne Hendricks, man, I tell you what, he can run and burst. I mean, he does some special things out on the field at times. And then inside, Shane Roy has been really, really steady. He was, defensive unsung hero this week just because he does everything right inside and did a nice job. Keyshawn Camp's pretty good too.
What do you think has led to the increase in turnovers, the forced turnovers?
Them putting it on the ground and throwing it up to us, I guess. I mean, they want to take shots. I mean, our guys are making plays on the ball. I mean, you look at Dane Jackson, that's a beautiful, you talk about Jester Weah having confidence, and then you go back to, do they have confidence to throw it at number 11? Because they keep throwing it at number 11 the last couple of weeks, and he's made plays out there. And you might complete one, but then you throw a pick, and that's a change of field position and a major factor where the quarterback's going, maybe I shouldn't do that. So, I think there's a lot of factors to go into that, but I'm happy with the way the corners are playing.
There's been a lot of talk this year about inexperience on defense and other places. At what point is the game 6 coming up? At what point does that not become a factor anymore? At what point?
I don't think it ever becomes a factor. You know, I think we're going to be a heck of a much better football team in a year from now. We don't lose much, and we're going to have a lot of guys that have been through the fire. You know, you wish they would learn weekly, but it's hard. You know, I mean, it took you years to be a good writer. You know, it didn't happen. You know, hey, I wrote a bad newspaper article today. I'm going to write a good one next week. I guarantee it. You know, it takes time for things to gel and for them to really figure it out. You think they figure it out, but they go back to the same things. It's just a time thing, I think.
The coaches have to have a lot of patience then.
Better, just like a dad. Better have a lot of patience.
Are you a patient guy?
I'm pretty patient. My wife would tell you no, but probably more patient in the office than I am at home.
Has Marvin played the most snaps at the field the last couple of weeks?
Who's that?
Hamlet. Has he been getting the most snaps there?
I would say it's about even. Him and Bryce have been playing probably about even. I guess without counting.
You know,
I want to say 36 to 31 if you really want to ask me, but something like that, as close as we could go.
you know, having already played Penn State and Oklahoma State, how prepared do you think your defense is to face into another offense and really utilize those RPOs? And, you know, it seems to give so many defenses trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're better prepared now, but we'll find out. I mean, that's why we practice, and you know, we're definitely going to see RPOs. Okay. So we'll be, you know, I think our guys kind of looked at it, and again, I told you after the Oklahoma State game that we went and watched that tape because it's going to help us for the future. And you know, not only are we watching Syracuse tape, we're watching, you know, that Oklahoma State tape to say what are they seeing, where's their matchups, what do we need to do to defend that better. And the only problem is they only give you 11 guys to do it with. So we'd like to get 12, but they ain't going to give them to us.